as if he had traveled through time and become the most strategic prince of the dynasty. Yet he deliberately disguised himself as frail and foolish, all so that he could be granted the fief he longed for. Yunzhou. Yunzhou was originally a bitterly cold and desolate land, but in Xue Ren's eyes, it was a land chosen by heaven. Hey, have you heard? The 7th prince is going to be in fief to Yunzhou. Keep your voice down. It's already spread throughout the palace. I'm afraid only the 7th prince himself doesn't know yet. The 7th prince is truly pitiful. What are you two whispering about? Nothing. Although he didn't catch clearly who they were discussing, he had a feeling they were talking about him. Forget it. The grand ceremony is about to begin. Let them be. Begin. The 3rd son of the Phoenix, Li Xiaowo, is granted the title bestowed 10 billion and 8,000 households in Qinzhou. By imperial decree, your son thanks Father Emperor and Mother Empress for your grace. Long live the prince. Moreover, at such a critical moment, the eyes of everyone in the grand hall, intentionally or unintentionally, drifted toward the figure standing at the very end of the line. 7th prince, Xue Ren is gentle in temperament, frail and often ill, and unfit for heavy responsibilities. Thus he is specially granted the title Prince Xian. 10 billion and 3,000 households. His fief located in Yunjiang. I hit the jackpot. It really is, Yunzhou heavens. You've treated me so well. Your son... Thanks, Father Emperor, for your boundless grace. Your son will surely remain devoted in Yunzhou, and never fail your Majesty's immense favor. Very well. Each of you return and prepare, and depart for your respective fiefs as soon as possible. The 7th prince stuck with a place like Yunzhou. I doubt he'll live many more years. Still, our crown prince is truly benevolent. He even personally went to comfort his 7th brother. Yunzhou is harsh and freezing, and your body is weak. If you lack anything, you may send word to the capital at any time, and your elder brother will assist you. Look at that hypocrisy. Even the Oscars would owe you a little golden statue. Many thanks to your highness the crown prince for your concern. This younger brother is deeply moved to tears. Going to Yunzhou to recuperate? There are more wolves than people in that place. Don't end up being chewed up as medicinal ingredients. Xue Ren gave no response, and simply continued walking toward his carriage. So comfortable. Finally, I can leave this land of trouble. Roast whole lamb, fresh oysters, hot springs, my retirement life, here I come. Li Shiren's convoy, in the winter morning mist, slowly exited the west gate of Shangdu and set out on the long journey toward Linzhou. Report. Captain Zhao. On the slope ahead, many tangled and complex carriage tracks were found. It appears a fierce fight has just taken place here. The convoy, hold position. I will go and take a look. Your Highness, a merchant caravan ahead on the mountain road was robbed. There are traces left behind. The attackers were few in number. They were likely bandits. To ensure your Highness's complete safety, this subordinate suggests detouring to the official road 30 li away. Only after a moment did the carriage curtain get lifted, pale yet distinctly defined hand, opening a slit. Detour? What detour? How much longer would that take? Replying to your Highness, it would add about a day and a half to the journey. No, absolutely not. In 2 more days, we'll reach the former Emperor's imperial granary. If we detour, everything will be ruined from the start. Your Highness, there may be an ambush ahead. Advancing rashly could be dangerous. Didn't you say the bandits just left? What bandits would rob the same place twice? That wouldn't fit their cost-benefit ratio. Cost-benefit ratio? What kind of military tactic is that? Your Highness, I'm still worried there may be an ambush ahead. Let me ask you, are the guards under your command just eating for free? Your Highness, we are all elite soldiers. I dare not boast, but dealing with 20 or 30 bandits would be nothing. Very well. Send 2 men to the highest point of the slope ahead. One will keep watch, and the other will make some noise, to see if there's any reaction. This is called a stress test, understand? If there's no movement, we'll pass through at full speed. Yes, everything will follow your Highness's command. After saying that, he immediately deployed the troops according to Xiao Ren's method. The result was exactly as Xiao Ren had predicted. The convoy smoothly passed over the slope and arrived at the post station ahead of schedule. Your Highness, today I have learned much, but I still have 2 doubts. I humbly ask your Highness to enlighten me. Go on. What is a cost-benefit ratio, and what is a stress test? These 2 terms, why have I never heard of them before? Zhao Pan, you must remember, most things in this world aren't that complicated. The so-called art of war and strategy, when stripped down, is nothing more than the principles of business. Those bandits have already successfully robbed once. Their gains far exceeded their costs. If they turn back, they're very likely to suffer losses. That's what's called a cost-benefit ratio. It wouldn't be worth it. As for a stress test, it means using the smallest price to probe the enemy's movements. Isn't that better than sending an entire squad to their deaths? What your Highness calls a cost-benefit ratio, isn't that simply weighing the pros and cons in military strategy, calculating gains and losses? But by comparing it to business, it becomes much easier to understand. Your Highness's insight is truly unfathomable. I am utterly convinced. Finally managed to bluff my way through. Explaining a modern term to ancient people is more exhausting than making a PPT. Your Highness, 10 li ahead lies Yunju City. The attendant lifted the carriage curtain, and a gust of cold wind rushed in, making him shiver uncontrollably. On the long rampart not far away, a flag embroidered with the words Great Xia fluttered loudly in the wind. As long as there is a prince's residence to shelter from wind and a hot meal to eat, then my retirement plan will be half successful. It's a little better than I imagined. Zhao Pan, once we arrive at the prince's residence, carpenter. I've drawn a blueprint for a reclining chair, one that can fold and adjust its angle. Finish it well, and there will be a reward. Your subordinate obeys. His Highness is truly carefree. The things he longs for are merely such amusements. Before the convoy reached the city gate, a civil official as thin as a bamboo pole, wearing a patched green official robe, waited anxiously with several subordinates for the arrival of the 7th prince. Your subordinate, Chundi, prefect of Yunzhou, together with Yunzhou officials. May your Highness be blessed. Prefect Chun, rise. Thank you all for waiting here. You are too courteous, Prefect Chen. Just now outside the city, I saw sparse fields and few farmhouses. Could it be that Yunzhou lacks population? Your Highness may not know. Yunzhou is vast and sparsely populated. Most of the common people reside within the city. Outside the city does appear somewhat desolate. Bah! Are they really treating me like a fool? There are barely any households outside the city, and yet inside it's supposed to be bustling? Xiao Ren nodded and shifted his gaze into the city. What met his eyes were poorly clothed pedestrians and low, dilapidated houses. At that moment, Xiao Ren's mood sank to rock bottom. The wind outside is strong, and I am not feeling well. Let us enter the residence and talk. Yes, yes. As your highness says. This way, please, to the prince's residence. The residence is in the east of the city. Not far, not far. Accompanied by the clattering sound of wheels. The convoy stopped before a mansion that looked only slightly more imposing than the surrounding common houses. How is this a prince's residence? This clearly looks like a haunted house. Letting His Highness live in such a place is simply a grave insult to royal dignity. Let's go inside and have a look first. The attendants entered the main hall. A banquet specially prepared for Prince Xian had already been set, yet the feast was so shabby it was pitiful. This counts as a grand banquet? It's not even as good as the staff meal at my company's annual meeting in my previous life. Yunzhou is impoverished. We truly have nothing decent to offer. Even this was prepared with everything we had for your highness. We beg your highness's forgiveness. Shuren did not respond. Instead, he used his chopsticks to pick up a slice of mutton, carried a strong gamey smell, swallowed it without changing expression. Then his gaze shifted to the broken bowl, filled with murky, muddy water. I can understand material scarcity, but if you can't even serve a bowl of clean water, that's an issue of attitude. Zhao Pan, I am somewhat thirsty. Go and bring our own water pouch. Your subordinate obeys. A moment later, Zhao Pan deliberately placed the white porcelain bowl down on the table with a heavy thud. Then he poured clear water into the white bowl. Chen Jizhou trembled in fright at the sight before him. It's over, it's over. This virtuous prince may look frail and sickly, but his methods are so ruthless. This move is equivalent to telling everyone that the officials of Yunzhou cannot even present a single bowl of clean water. Your Highness may not know. Yunzhou has suffered drought for many years. Even the only old well in the city is nearly dry. For the common people to have this water to drink, we absolutely would not dare show the slightest disrespect to your highness. At a time like this, what the prince wants is merely a way out. Yet you insist on laying everything bare. Are you in such a hurry to die? The servant held his own bowl of clear water, without even lifting his eyelids. Oh? There has been little rainfall for many years. How should I address you, sir? This lowly official is Zhang Qian from the prefectural office. When I arrived, I saw that 10 li outside the city there is a large river. Though the riverbed is shallow, it has not run dry. Why abandon what is near and cling to a dried-up well? Fat Blackwater River is too far from the city, fetching water back and forth. And there is much quicksand in the river. The river water is likewise extremely muddy, unfit for drinking. Water is hard to obtain and unfit for consumption. Hey ha 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 ha. Lord Chun, is there in this city a designated official in charge of waterworks, farmland, and the people's livelihood? Replying to your highness, according to the regulations of our prefectural office, such matters are jointly managed by the prefectural administration department. I am somewhat fatigued. I will not attend the welcoming banquet. Many thanks for your goodwill, according to protocol. The prince did not pursue anyone's responsibility, yet he left everyone present feeling deeply unsettled. That night, the prince tossed and turned, unable to sleep. He kept replaying the day's conversation in his mind until dawn. Guards, someone! Summon Zhao Han and Chen Jizhou to the main hall in 1 hour to discuss matters. In the early morning, a ray of sunlight pierced through the dust film and shone upon the table. The water in the bowl appeared especially glaring. At this moment, the prince stared blankly at the bowl of muddy water. Suddenly, he shifted his gaze to Chun and the others. Lord Chun, I have no grand ambitions. There are only 2 things I cannot make do with. Please speak, your highness. I am all ears. First, I spend more than half of each day in bed. If the bed is uncomfortable, I cannot go on living. Second, this bowl of water. I have a picky palate and cannot get used to drinking this muddy mixture. Hearing this, Chunde trembled in fear. He stammered, Your Highness, you care for the people. It is truly a blessing for Yunzhou. It's just, this matter involves 3 major difficulties that must be resolved. Oh, let me hear them. First, there is no running water within the city, and the only old well is nearly dry. Second, although the Blackwater River outside the city is rich in water resources, is fraught with dangers. For the common people to go outside the city is no different from risking their lives. Lastly, the treasury is empty. We truly cannot afford to fund irrigation works and infrastructure. We haven't even started working yet, and he's already crying poverty. This routine is exactly like those product managers from my previous life who tried every trick to shirk projects. Lord Chun, you just said that the old well in the city is about to run dry. Then how is the well water currently being distributed? Quan Jizhou realized he had misspoken. He did not dare meet the prince's gaze, and his head lowered unconsciously. This well water concerns the people's livelihood. It has always been managed by Director Liu of the prefectural administration. Every day, he allocates it to households. According to the household registry, although the prince's voice was calm, Quan Jizhou was so frightened that he dropped to his knees with a thud. Your Highness is wise and discerning. I have long harbored resentment. Director Liu, relying on the only water source in his hands, has been secretly selling water at exorbitant prices. It has long been an open secret in Yunzhou City. Now it seems the department head is being insubordinate, trying to sideline the newly arrived authority. An hour passed. The silver charcoal in the hall crackled softly. Yet it could not dispel the suffocating gloom. Meanwhile, the prince reclined leisurely in his chair, appearing exceptionally composed. Suddenly, a guard hurried in. Your Highness, the steward of the Liu residence that Director Liu caught a chill upon rising this morning, and is unable to come pay his respects. Oh, he's ill? Fell ill at quite a timely moment. Any news from Captain Zhao's side? Captain Zhao was stopped at the gate by Sun Yokai of the official granary. He claims that without a jointly issued permit from both the prefectural office and the administration without authorization. Otherwise, it would be treated as treason. Well, now first illness, now treason. Looks like this project manager hasn't even started working yet, and has already run into an invisible wall. Lord Chun, you heard it all. Your Highness, Director Liu and Sun Yokai dare to act so recklessly, because they are both men of Prince Yong. As for me, this prefect has always been nothing but a figurehead. Li Xiaowo. It's Li Xiaowo again. It seems if I want to lie low here, I must first learn how to play the game here. At this thought, the prince's chaotic thoughts finally cleared. He lifted his head and looked at Quan Jizhou again. A mere figurehead. How could you have held the prefect seat so steadily for so many years? Your greatest strengths are incompetence and obedience, and that is precisely what the third prince needs most. His Highness the virtuous prince is truly astute. In front of him, I feel like a transparent man. Lord Chun, in Yunzhou, is there anyone like you, who has long been frustrated and unable to realize his ambitions? Reporting to your Highness, Zhang Qian is such a person. The name Zhang Qian sounds rather familiar. At yesterday's welcoming banquet, the clerk who spoke with your Highness, that was him. Good, very good. Summon Zhang Qian to see me at once. Your servant Zhang Qian pays respects to your Highness. Zhang Qian, at yesterday's banquet, why did you speak in defense of Qin Jizhou and the others? Reporting to your Highness, although Yunzhou is poor, I simply did not want your Highness to harbor resentment toward Yunzhou because of this. You think you are defending Yunzhou's dignity. No, you are defending an old order that has already rotted to its core. Your Highness is right to reprimand me. Then do you know why yesterday I refused that bowl of hospitality filled with and drank my own instead? Because that water was foul, unfit to drink. You only saw the surface of the matter. I drank the water I brought to make a firm resolve that the entire city's people would one day drink clean water. Such far-sighted vision, I truly failed to consider this. I have only just arrived. I originally intended to use the border relief grain to resolve these problems. But the official granary is guarded by Sun Yokai, who clutches the Great Xiao regulations like a door god. Your Highness, he says, without authorization from the ministry, anyone who forces entry into the granary is committing treason. A prefect, who cannot even secure clean water. How much is his official seal worth in front of Director Liu? Then perhaps we should memorialize ask His Majesty to issue an imperial edict in hand. They would not dare disobey. Good idea. But from Yunzhou to the capital, a round trip would take a full month. Jiang Qian was rendered speechless. He could only mutter to himself. He felt as if he had fallen into an endless loop. If we cannot find a solution, the residents outside the city will soon riot. When that happens, forget about living in comfort. Even our lives may not be spared. Suddenly, Jiang Qian dropped to his knees with a thud and said excitedly, "I've thought of a way." Let me hear it. Yunzhou is a border command. According to the provisions in the military statutes on emergency border measures, Your Highness has the authority to requisition grain from the official granary. If anyone dares obstruct under the pretext of regulations, execution. Good, very good. My prince's residence lacks a managed document. Are you interested? I would be honored beyond measure. Very well. Chief Clerk Jiang tomorrow, opening the granary to release grain, will be your first subject. Jiang tomorrow you will personally lead 20 of our most elite men to accompany Chief Clerk Jiang to the granary. Understood. After arranging everything, the prince quietly gazed at the heavy night outside the window and let out a long breath. How dare you? This is official granary land. Who dares trespass once? What imposing authority in this granary? Oh my, isn't this Clerk Jiang? What wind has blown you here? Enough nonsense. By order of His Highness the Virtuous Prince, to provide disaster immediately. Seeing the situation, the granary supervisor quickly shot a look at the attendant. The attendant quietly slipped out through the back door. However, it was seen clearly by the spies of the Virtuous Prince without missing a detail. Lord Chan, I fear Zhao Pan and Jiang Qian will not be able to handle Director Liu. Please trouble yourself to make a trip there. This subordinate obeys the order. The official granary belongs to the imperial court. Opening it requires official documents that match and verify each other. Is that so? Have you read the Travel and Residence chapter of the Great Xia Code? Of course I have. But what does that have to do with today's matter? Sun Kangli cited the third year of Zhou Beyond the city. Roosters crow. Why did you not provide relief? Are you trying to incite a civil uprising? I am merely a minor Kangli official. I am powerless in the face of such an emergency. Since you admit this is a frontier emergency, then you have the authority to mobilize resources accordingly. Are you forcing this official to commit an error? The atmosphere instantly became extremely tense. Suddenly, a rush of hurried footsteps came from afar. Madam Jiang Lu, Captain Zhou, let's talk this out. Let's discuss this calmly. Director Liu, you oversee funds and grain. Should this be activated or not? The conditions for mobilizing military transport are extremely strict. Without solid evidence, if we deploy the troops openly, this responsibility. In extraordinary times, extraordinary measures must be taken immediately. A somewhat aged voice came from outside the door. The person who arrived was Chen Zhizhou. This old fellow is usually like a turtle hiding in its shell. Why has he come forward today? Relieving disaster and sustaining the people is the shared responsibility of us officials. If you continue to obstruct, are you intent on causing a great calamity before you stop? Director Liu shot Sun Yokai a fierce glare, then ordered the official granary to be opened. Why is there sand in the granary? This must be the workers. It must have been accidentally mixed in while bagging. I'll have them sifted again immediately. Captain Zhao did not believe Sun Yokai's explanation at all. He drew his blade and slit open another sack of grain. What explanation could Sun Yokai possibly give now? This must be someone framing me. Before the ironclad hall, you still dare to quibble? Sun Yokai, you have greatly disappointed this official. My lords, this official bears the fault of negligent inspection. I failed to discover that villain's wolfish ambitions in time. What a convenient claim of ignorance. Such large-scale adulteration of grain with sand. You say it was done by one man alone? Do you think anyone would believe that? Men, arrest Sun Yokai at once. Seal the official granary entirely. Have Sun Liang assign men to guard it day and night. There must be no mistakes. Yes, Director Liu. This matter still requires you to personally report to His Highness. That is only proper. I ask His Highness to severely punish me for my negligence in inspection. Look, isn't that Shun Kangli? Who would have thought he'd see a day like this? Our virtuous prince is truly formidable. Inside the main hall, Xia Ren lay back in a chair, sleeping leisurely. As for Sun Yokai, he was escorted into the hall by 2 guards, awaiting Xia Ren's judgment. Your Highness, due to my initial failure in inspection, the grain reserves in the official granary are short by at least 30%. Most of the stored grain has not been even deteriorated into worm-infested grain. Every year, the imperial court allocates to save the common people in times of dire need. Yet it has ended up as food on the plates of greedy rats. Where is your conscience? Your Highness, spare me. Your Highness, spare me. This lowly one deserves 10,000 deaths. I was foolish for a moment. Director Liu, all the funds and grain of Zhengyun Prefecture now the official granary is piled full of sand. You have nothing to say? Your Highness is wise and perceptive. I never imagined Sun Yokai would be so audacious. To squander the court's life-saving grain to such an extent. I too was deceived by him. Lu Tai, you are talking nonsense. Every entry in the granary Which one was not reviewed and approved by you? You? Your Highness, Sun Yokai not only embezzled the court's funds and grain, he also attempted to slander a court official. His intent deserves death. I implore your Highness to punish him as a warning to others. After speaking, Director Liu held up 3 fingers. Sun Yokai understood. Those 3 fingers represented the 3 members of his family. He dared not refute him, but all of this was seen clearly by Xia Ren. Sun Yokai, as long as you tell the truth, I can ensure you and your family leave Yanzhou safely. Otherwise, you and your family will suffer. Seeing that Sun Yokai did not respond, the servant set a teacup down on the table with a sharp clack. Sun Yokai, I dislike parties and factions. I dislike hearing nonsense even more. Your Highness, I confess my guilt. It was I who secretly replaced the grain for personal gain. It has nothing to do with Lord Liu. I beg your Highness for mercy, and spare my entire family. Lu Tai, this thorn, I will remove him sooner or later. But the urgent matter at hand is to let the common people drink clean water and eat their fill. That is what truly matters. Good. Very good. Zhao Pan, immediately send men to investigate according to Sun Yokai's recover the stolen money and goods. This subordinate obeys. Zhang Qian, escort Sun Yokai into the prefectural confiscate his family property into the prince's treasury for subsequent disaster relief. Thank you, Your Highness, for sparing my family. Your Highness, regarding my fault in inspection, although you erred in supervision, considering you exposed the wrongdoing, you are fined 1 year's salary and confined at home to reflect. I hope you will serve diligently in the future and not disappoint this prince's trust again. Withdraw. Many thanks for your Highness's magnanimity. In the future, I shall devote myself wholeheartedly until death. Your Highness's thunderous methods have not only removed this scourge for the people of Yunzhou, but also laid the foundation for subsequent disaster relief. This subordinate deeply admires it. It seems it is time to initiate this prince's clear source plan. What is the clear source plan? At dawn, Xia Ren led his guards, galloping across the wasteland north of Yunzhou City. Before long, the sound of carriage wheels echoed behind them. Your Highness, ahead lies the islet of the Blackwater River. So this is the legendary Blackwater River? Can this even be called a river? This river once had abundant water, but after years of severe drought, it has become what you see now. Zhang Tian, The craftsmen you were told to gather yesterday. Have all the master carpenters arrived? Your Highness, they are waiting at the temporary shed set up by the riverside. Lead the way. Our prince opened the granary and distributed grain as soon as he arrived, and even punished Sun, the granary official. Such methods are truly admirable. We commoners pay our respects to your highness. No need for formalities, all of masters. I wish to build a water purification facility by the Blackwater River. Here are some of my preliminary ideas. Please see whether they are feasible. The craftsmen carefully examined the blueprint, each of them frowning deeply. Your Highness, this water area. Why build so many pools at the bend of the river? It is to allow the impurities in the Blackwater River to settle. Your Highness means like muddy water. If left still for long enough, the silt will sink to the bottom? Precisely. Sedimentation is only the first step. We must also lay layers of gravel of varying sizes and pebbles at the bottom to filter the water. But gravel itself is dirty. How can it purify water? I understand now. When we usually dig wells, we also use sand and gravel to filter. Exactly. There is still one final step after the sedimentation and sand filtration. I will tell you once they are completed. Your Highness truly has ingenious ideas. As for delivering the water, I intend to bury ceramic pipes deep underground and then channel the water into the city reservoir. If ceramic pipes are buried underground under the pressure of the soil, I fear they will soon crack and leak. Your Highness, it would be better to build open channels above ground. Easier to repair and more convenient. What you say is quite reasonable. But if we build open channels, for every 10 steps the water flows, and there is also the risk of contamination. I know, these ideas are unfamiliar to all of you. But as long as the people of Yunzhou work together, there is nothing we cannot build. We are willing to assist your Highness in constructing this life-saving system. Jiang Qian, from today onward, you will take full responsibility for this project. Yes, sir. Your Highness, the drinking water project by the Blackwater River has begun to take shape. The final connections are nearly complete. So fast? Come with me to inspect the site. I have just returned from the construction site. Masters, the sedimentation and sand filtration pools are now essentially complete. We only await the water test. As for the miraculous material you mentioned earlier, that can make the water sweet. You mean charcoal? Charcoal? Once soaked, how can it be used to purify water? To be precise, it should be called carbon powder. It is made by burning wood in intense fire while cutting off the air supply. Inside, it contains many fine pores that can effectively filter odors and discoloration from water. Your Highness, is this carbon powder so miraculous? Whether it is miraculous or not, we will know once we test it at the construction site.